Ancient DNA reveals mysterious new group of humans in Colombia with no genetic ties to people today. Now, I'm interested in this for two reasons. First, this is just cool. But second, for those of you that don't know, lack of DNA evidence from people from North and South America is one of the biggest criticisms against the Book of Mormon. And so if there's genetic news about people from South America, I'm generally interested. Let's keep going. Scientists have found genetic evidence of an ancient group of people in Colombia with no modern-day descendants. It's as if they simply vanished from the face of the earth. Alright, pretty dramatic, but whatever. What's more, they're also not closely related to ancient Native American populations that scientists had thought would be their ancestors. This is unexpected, said an archaeologist from Florida Atlantic University who did not participate in the research. Up to this point, we didn't believe there was any lineage that would appear in South America. Okay, kind of interesting. They analyzed DNA from bones and teeth of 21 individuals found at 5 archaeological sites in the Altiplano, the high plains around Bogotá. While this group was present 6,000 years ago, they had disappeared by 4,000 years later. Okay, so this isn't just like a lost tribe, it's a lost genetic lineage altogether. They were part of the early migrations into South America, but their markers just simply do not exist anymore. I think that's what it's saying so far. The new finding raises questions. Where do they come from and why did they disappear? That is a very good question. But to the researchers' surprise, their genes were seemingly not passed on. Archaeologists speculate the Chakua population could have disappeared due to environmental changes or been replaced by other groups. They might have also just mixed into other local populations to the point that their unique DNA was diluted out of the gene pool. Okay, this is actually interesting. So if I come here to the Book of Mormon and DNA studies, like I said, this is one of the major criticisms against the Book of Mormon. And if you come down to this section called genetic drift, it talks about this idea of dilution. So this is what it says. Genetic drift is the gradual loss of genetic markers in a small population due to random events. A simple illustration is often used to teach this concept. Basically what happens is you fill a jar of 20 marbles, 10 red, 10 blue. As you continue trying, the now uneven mix will lead to an even more frequent draw as the dominant color. Over several generations, this drift towards one color will almost certainly result in a disappearance of the other color. That even though in the past there were red marbles, through genetic drift, the red marbles slowly go away. So like it says here, genetic profiles may be entirely lost and combinations that once existed may become so diluted that they are difficult to detect. Or in other words, Native Americans whose ancestors include the Book of Mormon peoples may not be able to confirm that relationship using their DNA. Now, something important to remember is that the Book of Mormon itself never claims that it's the only inhabitants of the Americas. It says that they are among the ancestors of the American Indians. That probably needs to be changed to Native Americans. But my honest reaction to this article is obviously not that this proves or disproves anything about the Book of Mormon, but I think it does prove just how little we actually know about ancient America and about history in general. And we know less than 1/1 trillionth about the things that had actually happened. Overall, I think this is interesting, and it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. Now, if you like this video, you might enjoy my other video about the Book of Mormon, where I code a custom Python agent to read and analyze every chapter of the Book of Mormon and see whether or not it's a good fruit or it's a bad fruit, like Jesus says in Matthew chapter 7. And you can also subscribe. Alright, I think that's it.